The San Francisco 49ers have made another move in 2024 NFL free agency as the Niners have signed running back Patrick Taylor to a one-year contract. Also, a tight end who the Niners really wanted is not coming to San Francisco. He's staying with the Detroit Lions. I'm going to explain why. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you to Manscaped for making today's show possible. Join the millions of men worldwide who have put their trust in the best men's grooming products, and we have a phenomenal deal for the faithful, 20% off and free shipping, manscaped.com/49ers. Adam Schefter breaking the news this afternoon that the Niners are signing former Green Bay Packers running back Patrick Taylor to a one-year deal. So after facing the Niners in the playoffs, Taylor now joins that team. If you can't beat them, join them. That's the saying. The Niners' running back depth chart now looks as such, and after Christian McCaffrey, there are question marks on this team because who is going to be RB2 in 2024? Is it going to be Elijah Mitchell? Is it going to be Jordan Mason, who every time he gets a handoff, he flashes, shows a lot of pop and physicality? I like the player, but do the Niners and the coaching staff, do they like Jordan Mason? And Patrick Taylor now enters the fold. San Francisco oftentimes likes to keep 3 to 4 running backs on that 53-man roster. So Taylor's going to have an opportunity here with his intriguing skill set to make this team, and we'll see if the Niners go running back at some point in the 2024 NFL Draft. If you're not familiar with Taylor, here's some background information on him. Still a young player at 25 years old. He was a UDFA in 2020, undrafted out of Memphis, but able to crack that Packers roster and was with Green Bay from 2020 to 2023 behind Aaron Jones, behind A.J. Dillon. That's why he was seldom used for that offense under Matt LaFleur. Solid size. He's actually the tallest running back in Kyle Shanahan's tenure with the Niners at 6'2", 217, and why I think the Niners looked at him, they were intrigued by his skill set, why they're bringing him in on that one-year deal. Of course, in addition to running the football, he can catch passes, but he's played a lot of special teams in his career. 124 special team snaps with the Packers this past year. Not a lot of carries, though, because Aaron Jones, very good running back, 32 carries, 141 yards, no touchdowns. Of course, Green Bay now going the direction of Josh Jacobs in free agency. For his career, Taylor has played in 34 games in 3 seasons. He's run for 261 yards, 4 yards per carry with 1 touchdown. His numbers in each campaign so far, his 32 carries this past year, the most that he's had in his NFL career. He's only run for 1 touchdown, so just hasn't been utilized a lot as a ball carrier for Green Bay. Year 1, 23 carries, 89 yards, 3.9 yards per tote. Year 2, only 10 carries, 31 yards, 3.1 yards per carry, and then this past year, 32 carries, $141, and then just shy of 4.5 yards per carry. My take here is that RB2 behind Christian McCaffrey is going to be a competition if the Niners don't draft the running back in the draft. Kyle Shanahan, can you help yourself and not draft a running back in the 3rd round? It hasn't worked out with Trey Sermon and Ty Davis-Price. I like Jordan Mason a lot. I think he has room to be a really good backup running back in this league. I've said it here on the show. I think he's better than Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell has been successful anytime he's been able to stay healthy, but every year that he's been in the league, he's been injured. So you need a durable running back behind Christian McCaffrey, whose workload was great this past year and profound this past year. He led all running backs in touches, but injuries were a concern prior to him coming to San Francisco. We know how running backs age. McCaffrey starting to get a little bit older. I showed you the numbers for the real ones who always watch the show of how the numbers and touches decline for the NFL leader in touches and rushing yards that following year. That could happen with McCaffrey. And if that happens, this offense and the dynamic element of it and the feel of it, just the complexion of it changes a lot. So I think RB2 is a sneaky need behind Christian McCaffrey for this team. Is it going to be Jordan Mason? Is it going to be Elijah Mitchell? Could it be the newest acquisition for San Francisco here in Taylor? We will certainly see. With that, I ask you this. Who will be RB2 behind Christian McCaffrey in 2024? As always, join the conversation down below in the comment section. Coming up next, the 49ers will not be signing an intriguing tight end who I like, who the Niners tried to acquire, but he's going back to the Detroit Lions in a turn of events that might surprise some people. Before we talk about that, let's talk about Manscaped, our sponsor for today's show. Did you know 1 man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? In fact, testicular cancer is the most common form of cancer among men aged 15 to 35. I actually knew somebody who I grew up with who had testicular cancer. He was able to beat it. Shout out to my guy Ryan. And I'm so glad that he's okay. But other people are not, and other people have to deal with this unfortunate disease, which takes way too many people. And I hope that at some point we're able to find a cure for cancer. Manscaped is doing their best to try to do that. Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Visit manscaped.com/TCS to learn how to check yourself for early signs of cancer. And as always, you can use the promo code here, 49ers, for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/49ers. With this in mind, you can perform simple routine self-checks at home while enjoying Manscaped products that you use every day, like the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It makes sense, right? We use products daily to trim and maintain our boys down below. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra features 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little bit off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth and sleek. With dual LED spotlights, you'll achieve better visibility, making every trim more precise and hassle-free. You don't like making a mess? This thing is waterproof. Shave in the shower, in the bath, or in the ocean. Testicular Cancer Society. It helps save lives and balls. Go to manscaped.com/TCS. Share their funny, educational, check yourself video. And while you're at it, grab 20% off and free shipping by using the code 49ers. All of this information is available for you down in the comments section as well as in the description of this video. Manscaped, a terrific sponsor here on the show. As for Brock Wright, Niners will not be signing him in free agency. They tried, but he's going back to the Detroit Lions. The Lions had up until today to match the 3-year, $12 million offer to Brock Wright. He was a restricted free agent. That's why the Lions had an opportunity to match that offer. San Francisco put in that offer sheet for him. And what this tells me, the Detroit Lions really value Wright behind Sam Laporta, who's emerging as one of the top young tight ends in the NFL. The Lions drafted him in the 2nd round. He turned into a bona fide star this past year in 2023. While the Lions liked him, they're a smart organization. That's why they're an emerging team. The 49ers are a smart organization too, so they like the player. But also, there's some gamemanship here, I think, because maybe the 49ers looked at Brock Wright and they're like, you know what, let's put an offer sheet in on him. We lost a couple of tight ends in free agency, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly. I think the Niners being interested in Brock Wright tells you they're not really sold on Cam Latu as well as Braden Willis. And in the process, the 49ers here forced the Detroit Lions to maybe overpay for Brock Wright. Going back to the Niners side here, they clearly have questions for backup tight end behind George Kittle. I'm fine with them letting Ross Dwelly, Charlie Warner walk. They were important parts of this offense as far as being blockers. I think it's time to upgrade tight end too. But Cam Latu, Braden Willis are the only other 2 tight ends on this roster legitimately behind George Kittle. And if the Niners are showing interest in trying to pay Brock Wright that amount of money, they clearly aren't too confident in Braden Willis and Cam Latu being able to carry the water behind George Kittle here. So I'm looking for San Francisco to address tight end at some point in the 2024 NFL Draft. Jatavion Sanders out of Texas, Jared Wiley at a TCU, who was a Texas transfer. Those are players who I really, really like. As for Wright, solid player. I would have liked that addition. Great blocker, good pass catcher as well. And he would have made up for players that the Niners lost who had that type of role of being that motion man, being that blocker, pass sets, running plays, because you lost Dwelly and Warner, who vacated an NFL free agency. Interesting stuff there nonetheless. Make sure you give me a follow on X at Chase_Senior. Give me a follow on Instagram at Chase_Senior. Same handle on both platforms. Make sure you also turn on those notifications. Therefore, when you hit that bell icon, anytime we push out a video, anytime we go live, you'll be notified.